Thanks, Beta here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Revealers Bumblebee. Very nice box, the white and the red. I love the colors of these boxes. Just an overall good-looking box. Now, you'll notice that this has multiple languages. That is because this is the European release. I got this from my good friends over at KapowToys.com. Without them, I would not have this figure. Even my other online sources completely failed. So thanks a lot to Kapow Toys for getting this for me. Now, I did pay for it, so this was not free. I did buy this. But, okay, so let's go ahead and open this and take a look. And here we have Bumblebee out of the packaging. And I have to admit, it looks good. I mean, this is a great-looking car mode. I just love the quasi-Camaro look of C.F. Prime Bumblebee. It just looks really, really good. Now, it does come with two weapons, two guns that can stack upon each other, and then the only place to really plug them in is the hood. So there we go. Now, eagle-eyed viewers or watchers of Toy Fair will notice that the repaint for Bumblebee is going to be Hotshot. He's a blue version of this mold with a different head sculpt. It had 4 guns stacked upon it, which I thought was just silly and cool. Oh, excuse me. So, one thing I did note, this Bumblebee is smaller than FE Bumblebee. And this Bumblebee is actually the NYCC exclusive, but it's the same mold as first edition Bumblebee. It is smaller, the alt mode, which is weird. I wasn't expecting that. Oh well, they're virtually the same, but they definitely do have a different transformation, that I will admit. So, speaking of the transformation, the transformation for RID Bumblebee is actually pretty easy. To start with, we're actually going to reach back in here, and what I like to do is just kind of pop it, push it forward just enough so that the doors pop off these latches, and then we swing the doors out, enabling us to take the entire rear of the vehicle and fold it down like that. Then we get to take the arms and bring them forward to the underside of the vehicle, take the rear windscreen, fold that up, and then rotate the back of the roof and the front windscreen back. Come back down to the rear of the vehicle node and just grab the feet and bring the whole assembly down, and then just get everything lined up. And then this is where things get a little bit weird. It's got an automorph gimmick. So what you could do, you can either grab the arms and open, or I like to just grab the very front of the grill and fold it up just enough to clear the head out of there. And then you have to just unlatch the arms and fold everything back. And there we go. And here we have Bumblebee in robot mode. And yes, that is the complete robot mode. Overall, the figure isn't that bad, except for the giant problem with its head. The head doesn't go down at all. But we'll get into that in a minute. So as you can see, I went ahead and added the blasters to the arms, and that is a very nice touch. I really do like the figure having 2 different blasters. And overall, the figure has quite a bit of posability. The head is on a ball joint, but it is somewhat limited and very, very tight. Shoulders are on a swivel joint on the inside of the shoulder, and then there's another swivel joint right there. And then there's a swivel, 2 different swivel and hinge joints on the elbows. Legs are ball joint in the hip, swivel joint on the thigh, hinge joint at the knee, and then just another hinge joint here at the feet. And overall, you can get a lot of posability out of this guy when I can get him to stand up. Now, other than the weird head issue that RID Bumblebee has, you can see that it is actually a much smaller figure than first edition Bumblebee. And that I find a little odd, but given the issues that I have with first edition Bumblebee, RID Bumblebee is turning out to be a better figure, even with the weird head issue. Now, I do find it rather odd that we have a figure here that is so good, yet so misassembled or misdesigned that it completely negates the inherent awesomeness of the figure. Well, I've only got one choice. To the internet! Come on, kitty. So a huge thank you to my good friend Optibotimus for pointing out some of the mods, and he actually, in his video review, has a link to YouTube member Mr. Fanwank, who has a much more in-depth mod. So I took his advice and made my own little mod. So now Bumblebee's head does lie flat. But in doing so, I have destroyed the auto-transformation gimmick a little bit. Now, what I did do was I took one of my model snips with the flat bottom. This is for removing parts from model runners. And all I did was, with the head somewhat transformed, went in and snipped off all the teeth for the auto-transformation gimmick for the head. What that does is, it removes the head from the auto-transformation gimmick, but it keeps all of the other gimmicks in line, except for that little bit, which it actually forces the head up. So then you get the smooth transformation, and then you can put the head back. And when transforming it back, you can put the head up, and then transform the shoulders. So I like that version a lot better. Now, the other way to do it is to come under in the rear, or I'm sorry, that makes it sounds so much more wonderful. Come underneath the head and unscrew these two screws and completely disassemble the figure, shave off the teeth again, but not all of them like I did. Now, you could do that, and I tried to do that, but on my figure, these screws are completely unnecessary because these bits are glued into place. I actually tried to take these bits apart. These are glued. There is actual glue residue, especially up in here. There's glue residue, so that isn't coming off very easily. So, downside, yeah, it does make the head a little bit floppy, but you can actually just hold it into place with the windscreen, and it actually makes the figure look a lot better. Overall, this Bumblebee figure is a nice figure. It is a lot better than the first edition figure, which I had a lot of problems with. With the head mod, either my mod or Mr. Fanwank's mod, the figure is close to being perfect. The only issue left are the shoulders, and unfortunately, that really can't be fixed, because if you go in and you start cutting some things away, you're going to have the shoulders just flopping around, and the only real way to fix it is to actually replace the gear underneath the shoulder blade and include a much longer division here. But that, I think, would cause issues with the overall stability of both modes. So, that being said, it's still a nice figure and it does look good. The only addition I would make right now is taking a small, maybe Gundam marker and filling in some of the panel lines on the shoulders and the arms. That's the only addition, and maybe maybe doing some nice things to the head. So, like I said, it's a good figure, but you're going to have to do some modifications to make it a really, really good figure.